Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free.
Okay, next question.
I'm a horse football coach right now.
You know, it got shoved up, shoved it up. It got shoved, right?
Let's go kick some ass.
Good evening, Spartan Savants, or good morning if you're listening to this on the way to work or just hanging out on the weekend. Hope everyone's doing well. We have had a great sports week the past few days since we last spoke. Travis, how are you doing?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a good past few days. Ready to rock and roll, get into big game against Wisconsin and all that this weekend.
Oh yeah, Willie.
Yeah, I mean things are good. I mean, no complaints. A lot going on sports wise. Obviously some big games coming up across the board. Spartans basketball, Lions football. Obviously the news about Jim Harbaugh, tons to discuss tonight and look forward to getting into all of it with you guys.
Yes. Thank you, Willie, for the quick rundown because I would have forgotten to do that. Let's start off. MSU plays Wisconsin Friday, rematch at the Kohl Center. And since we spoke after that Minnesota win, we had a actual good old fashioned rock fight with Maryland. Oh man. So yeah, I guess we can all kind of give our thoughts on the Maryland game. There's really not too much to say besides I've already like don't remember because the Lions game was right after, but I remember we started off really hot. I remember being very happy with the first half. We scored like what, 18 points in the second half?
Yeah, I
Something
think it
like
was
that, something low.
like that, 18 or
Yeah.
19. It was
I
really unimpressive.
I was just that part of it might have been because the Lions game was right after, and I was feeling the big time nerves there. But I was like really on edge that entire second half, like screaming. So I was in pure form, pure MSU basketball form, mid-season form.
It never should have been close. I mean, we were rolling in the first half, and then all of a sudden they go on that huge run to start. I think I was like you mentioned the 17 points. I looked at 17 points in the second half. Um, there was a lot of times during the game where I looked at it and I was just like, wait, when was the last time we scored? Like it was very rough to watch in the second half. And I think we went I think we had like maybe 10 points in like the first 12 minutes of the second half, if that. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, there's not much else to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a nice warm up for the Lions game. It was in the first half, it was almost to the point of, all right, I'll keep the game on, but I don't have to really pay attention. We were nearing cruise control. And then it's like someone put a lid on the basket. We just went totally cold. And like you said, Trav, they went on a run and like I looked up and it was like a 2-point game out of nowhere. It's kind of like what we've seen with this team, like great stretches of basketball for a half, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it may be. And then they just kind of come out and look like that. When they're just like can't figure anything out. Uh, I'm not really sure how they held on to win, only scoring 17 points in the second half. A gritty win. I mean, I'm not going to be upset after a win, but that's a game that I would think Maryland probably feels that they should have won, and realistically, they probably should have. Like scoring 17 points in the second half is not a recipe for success. You're not going to do that versus very many teams and get away with a win. So, it's just another classic game for this team. It's like, what are they going to do tonight to, you just don't even know what you're going to get. It's just like, it's not if the bad basketball stretch is coming or when or if they're going to play bad at some point, it's just when. Like, is it going to be at the start? Is it going to be at the end of the first half, start of the second half, the entire second half? Like, you're going to get it.
Yeah,
So I don't know, man. This team has me like befuddled.
Don't
same
get too
here.
comfortable. Yeah.
It feels like are they going to play good basketball for 4 minutes this game or 10 minutes? When we do it for
Yeah.
10, we usually win. When we do it for 4, we usually lose.
Right. Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
You do either of those in March, you're going to lose every time.
that is true.
It's
Um,
not long enough.
I guess that brings us to this game, Wisconsin. I'm going to be honest. I kind of feel like this is going to be one of those games where we just lay an egg and get blown out by 20. I really, I'm not feeling good about this one. It feels like we're about to turn a corner, and until proven otherwise, it just seems like one step back is coming.
yeah, hard to disagree
Yeah.
with you there. I mean, on the road in Madison, I think it's a place that we've traditionally played okay. We do kind of owe them for getting us at home. Hopefully they've got hopefully they've got a little red in their ass and they come out ready to play, but it's hard to envision that. They just have been so bad on the road this year. You know, I want so badly to buy into this team. The good has been really good. But the bad has been so bad. It's just hard. If it's like when Tyson's not scoring, it's all and Hogarth's not playing to the level that he needs to be. It's tough. I mean, Malik Hall outside of the Northwestern game has been pretty good, man. I know I was on him hard earlier this year, and um,
The Savants touch.
yeah, I mean, without him, I mean, gosh, I don't know where we'd be. Again, outside of that,
Trey
outside of the
Holloman.
Northwestern game, yeah, and Trey
Trey
Holloman. I
Holloman
mean,
is a
Holman
man.
stepped up.
He
Yeah.
really stepped up his
up.
defense. Thank God we have him too. I mean,
He's taken this. He's taken this like the spot I had for Jaden Akins. Kind of like, I don't know, for like from what I wanted, at least out of Jaden, it feels like Trey's almost more reliable at times.
definitely shooting the ball.
Yeah.
I feel like I would want if I had to pick between one to shoot a three at any given time, I might
It's Holloman
lean
right
towards
now.
Trey,
Yeah.
yeah. And he's really stepped up his defense. But a lot of credit to him. He's been a really, really pleasant surprise. One thing I feel like Carr has really his minutes are getting diminished. And I don't think he should be playing 25 minutes a game, but like 10 to 15,
Yeah, he
I
had
would like
what,
to
like
see a little more Carr.
8 minutes last game.
Yeah, I feel like his role has been
It's definitely
has
gone
been
down. Yeah.
yeah, his load has been lightened for sure. I don't know. I obviously don't know if there's something going on behind closed doors or what's going on in practice. Maybe he's just not getting not showing Izzo what he needs to see. But, um, 12 to 17 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, I feel like that needs to be, um, more of what we should see out of him. Kohler off to a bit of a slow start, but, coming off an injury.
He
I
has
think that's
flashes of greatness.
fair. Yeah.
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 The way he's played is kind of as expected, I would
Yeah.
say.
I think it's fair.
But
I just want to see
yeah.
more. I just I heard Graham Couch talking today and I got scared for a minute. Like Sissoko is in that last wave of players that get the extra year for COVID. Like, where is he gonna I mean, he's gonna be back next year.
Wonderful.
I mean, where's he gonna go? This is like his home.
We get to watch him get pushed around for another year. Yeah.
I mean, maybe Izzo sits him down and says, "You can stick around, but like the playing time thing, that gravy train has ended."
Have a seat on the bench, Matty.
Yeah, like they just missed on him, and that's gonna happen.
He's a great,
Yeah.
great human being.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. It's just
Just
the
the thought
basketball
of-
skill has not translated so far, and it's
Yeah.
been 4 years.
All of it better.
The thought of having to watch that bobbling the ball every time like he looks like he's surprised every
Spastic.
time he gets the ball.
It's just like a spastic way of playing in the
Oh my
post.
God.
It's like
Ew,
Remember that
horrifying.
Kentucky get the Champions Classic last year? He was like sick. That was so cool.
Yeah,
he was
versus
really good at the
Gonzaga,
beginning
too.
last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has
He
his
has
moments
these
to, like,
flash. Yeah, he has these flashes, but he doesn't do it for long periods of time like we've been expecting him to.
He plays hard.
or
I'll give him
wanted
that.
to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great.
The
Great in the
effort's
locker room,
there.
for
It's
sure.
the development is not quite
Right.
They all seem like great
what it needs to
friends,
be.
and that counts
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was really cool to see how excited they got. And this is going a few games back when Steven Izzo got his first basket.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see how excited they all were. Um,
Even the
but
refs got excited.
uh, good chemistry is only going to get you so far. At some
You
point,
got to have skill at some
you got to
point.
make some
Yeah.
stops, and you got to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
they play the games. You don't get it on paper.
yeah. This
I mean, we won. I mean, we just won. Like,
we've
we
won like
just
three
won,
games, 3 or 4 games
we
in a
won
row.
like the last seven, like 7 out of 9. We're just
We're
saying,
talking about them under the 0 and
these are the
16
The
worst
line.
sky's falling.
basketball players in the
Hey,
world.
Joe Barry's developing our big guys.
I really think Friday is. I'm not gonna say must win because we've used the must win like every other game, but I do think Friday is like a really big test for this team. Like, I think we will know what kind of team we're dealing with officially on Friday.
Yes.
That's my statement. Like, if they come out and lay an egg, then I'm not gonna say give up. Like, I'll still watch, I'll root, I'll cheer them on, but like if they come out and lay an egg on Friday,
They
I
don't have
think
as
we
many
know.
chances to
Right.
be back, and it's
Yeah.
going to take a lot more. Like, if they win on Friday,
Yeah.
we're back. Like,
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah, I'll
like,
buy in a
well,
little more.
if you look at the standings, basically this game we have on Friday, I feel like if we have any
We're
chance to win the Big Ten, which we're only like 2.5 games behind Wisconsin, we'd be, or we're three and a
three.
half. We'd be behind 3. We'd be 3 behind them, but it's a both. It's like neck and neck between all that. We have a much easier schedule. But I mean, if we're 4 games behind Wisconsin,
Forget about it.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
kissing that goodbye.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not gonna we would need too much help.
Like the Big Ten this week is kind of separating itself so that like the good teams and the bad teams. It seems like the top and the middle seem to be like kind of forming. Like the bad teams keep losing, like the Michigans, the Ohio States, and the Purdue's, Wisconsin's keep winning. Illinois.
Right.
So we got to steal. We got to take this one. This is a classic. Could be a dog Izzo win.
Yeah.
But
That's what
that's
I'm
used
looking
like
for.
any other year. I would be saying that, but this year it's just let's try something new.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for just down and dirty Spartan Dogs type gritty victory.
Or
Where
blowout.
Hogarth's talking trash, everyone's in it. You know,
I
I
would I would kill for a Tyson suck my dick. Like
yeah. Yeah. But if they come out flat on the road again, I think that we've seen all we need to see. We're gonna know what we're dealing with. Um, and that's just not a team that's going to do very do very much. I mean, and that's not to say, oh, if they go out and win that, they are for sure gonna do something, but they gotta show me something on the road. I need to see a complete game. Or a gritty win, and if it comes down to a last shot, that's still an encouraging. A lot you can come out of this with a good loss, in a way. Like obviously we lose, that's disappointing, but like put up a fight. I mean, look, Wisconsin's a good team, and going on the road is not easy. But like if they go on the road and just like lay a stinker, lose by 20, and then they were never really in it, like this team is this is who they are. But if they can come out after winning
if it's
three or four in a row, 7 out of last 9, like you said, and they really get after it, okay, then this team's got some fight.
if
But
it's
if
like the
not,
Maryland game or a bad bounce away from winning, kind of like that, and we end up losing, I'll be really annoyed. I'll be really annoyed, but I won't be apathetic. Like,
right? Yes, that's exactly right.
and by apathetic, I mean still watching every single game.
Of course, apathetic for us
Yeah.
by our standards. I want to buy in. I don't want to be apathetic about this team. There's a lot of good guys, a lot of easy guys to root for. It's just, but it's games like
Well, I mean,
Sunday, man.
Yeah, I mean, those games are the reason why we've been using must win so often is because they all are. I mean,
Right.
you talked about the struggles on the road. Sunday was our first road win of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, that we're at the end of January here. That can't, I mean, we've had a lot of a lot more home games than the road games, but I mean, that
Cannot
can't
reiterate
be
enough.
happening. Yeah.
It's hard to win on the road in the Big Ten.
In any conference, honestly. But yeah. But the last time Thursday when we after the Minnesota game, we talked about dictating the pace and how we weren't able to do that. Same thing happened in the second half against Maryland, and it certainly came into play in the first game against Wisconsin. I mean, the final was 70-57. We got out rebounded by like 14 or 15. I mean,
Yeah, can't have that.
Wisconsin dictated that pace the entire time, and honestly, we can't have that happen again. Maybe Kohler's presence or Booker playing more, like Izzo said, is going to help out because the bigs definitely struggled there. But and then that Stores, that guard, the transfer guard that they have, just completely
Yeah.
destroyed us. We need to lock
Yeah.
down on him this time.
Yeah, they I feel like bad scouting report that first game. They left him open for threes a lot. And I don't know if he's been continuing, but he was hot that night. Obviously someone they probably should have paid a little more attention to when it came to guarding him or when he was beyond
He's their
range. But
leading scorer, so
yeah, so there you go.
yeah,
So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But yeah, I mean I think that Wisconsin has always kind of had our number in dictating the pace. Like I feel like they're one of those
yeah,
teams that we
yeah,
just can never really play our game against. There's obviously a familiarity there. And they know what they're doing. I mean, I feel like we always have good games against Wisconsin. Obviously not when they came to the Breslin Center a couple weeks ago, but they're a tough out. Even when they're not that good, I feel like they just are a tough
yeah,
beat. So
yeah. I mean, what doesn't help us is this year's team does not play the slow paced game very well. That if they want to win, they got to be out and running, and Wisconsin's not the type of team that's going to let us do that.
yeah.
Big test for a transition thing we've had a huge issue with this year. Like
Yeah.
we need to get some Spartan plays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
Spartan
high
transition.
flying
High
Colin
flying
Carr.
Spartans, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Madison, Wisconsin, twice
Yeah.
a year. Actually, just
twice
once
a
a year.
year. Yeah, good God.
That's the
What kind of
biggest.
hell are you trying to wish on us? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the spread is for that one. And they
Yeah.
don't college basketball lines don't come out very timely. But that'll be interesting when I assume Wisconsin's going to be favored. It'll be interesting to see by how much. I do think we're a different team than we were when we played them last time. Not drastically, because
Yeah.
we still have moments or even games where we play like we did. But I think we've got some confidence building wins under our belt and have settled into the season a little more. Um, so we'll see. I'm very, very interested. I know I've said this a lot. I'm very interested to see what team shows up on Friday night. I think that that's going to be it's a really important game for this team.
Yeah, and to your point, that last game came before the Baylor win.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
definitely
Yeah.
That's
better
true.
basketball since then.
Yeah. No question.
Yeah, let's turn that late January, early February slump into late January, early February being good.
That would be
Yeah,
nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
right now you look at the ESPN bracketology, we're a 7 seed right now, so could use some wins.
I mean, the metrics love us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
but
probably the reason we're a
and
7 seed, honestly.
Yeah.
and the good
Pretty
news
cool.
for you and I, Nikki, is they're in the Dallas bracket
Okay.
in that projection.
I can't believe they're coming out with bracketology already. Like
I mean, they
there's
do it
so
like
much basketball left.
they do it.
They do it
like an hour after the national title. It's like they're way too
Yeah,
early,
yeah.
2024.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's gun to my head, this team screams 6 seed.
which is yeah.
I'll take a
It's
6 seed.
nice. Yeah, I mean it's
that
nice. Getting on that 5 line would be nice.
That was kind
even
of my
before.
point. Boosting the resume, we need the wins. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I agree. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
certainly not disputing that. I just what is the path for a six? Six verse
11.
11 and then six
And
verse 3.
yes.
They can avoid playing a 1 seed on that first weekend. I think that that's ideal for Michigan State.
I
Um,
would agree.
so I'm so much time left. I don't know. Goose. I don't know what the ceiling is for this team. Um, I don't know if they could get up all the way to a 4. I would think if they won out, they could probably get a nice seed. I don't think it's going to happen. Um, it'll be interesting to see what a few big wins could do. Like you said, Nikki, the nerdy analytics Ken Palm, that shit does like us, which I think bodes well.
Yeah.
And we've got the brand, so I think, I always feel like we'll get somewhat of a benefit of the doubt. Certainly not concerned about making the tournament like I was maybe at one point a little earlier in the season, but I do think this team could do better than a 7 seed. But we'll see.
And we were preseason number 4.
Yeah,
We,
God, it
like,
seems like it
we
was
are
forever ago.
like
I
when
mean,
we
we were
beat Baylor, we need to start getting like I don't need that every week. I need it like every 3 games, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
and we
Just
were also a 7 seed last year too.
Yeah. Here's my thought. Like, if you can go out and win this game against Wisconsin, I can forgive
a lot.
a lot. I can
Yeah.
forgive the
Yeah.
bullshit
Yep.
against Minnesota. I can forgive that bullshit against Maryland really quickly. So you want my forgiveness? Go win this game. It's very
Look,
simple.
We're a forgiving
MSU
program if you deserve
basketball,
it. Yeah.
That's right.
Tommy, God forgives. I don't. I'm like Rick Ross.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
let's
right.
win the let's win the damn game, brother.
Yeah.
Complete
We're kind
opposite
of,
of what I said, but
The
okay.
Savants don't. God
yeah,
forbid the Savants. God forgives the Savants don't.
that's right.
We should tweet that out on the Spartan Savants account.
I like that. Maybe make it our bio.
All right. Any more thoughts on MSU basketball, or should we go to the breaking news?
No, I think we kind of beat the shit out of that MSU basketball. I feel like I said the same thing for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, same. Probably gonna move on
Talk-
a little
yeah,
while
we're
there.
talking in circles. Yeah.
I mean, I could keep going, but all right,
right.
let's talk Jim Harbaugh. So everyone knows, congratulations, Jordan, I guess. Jim Harbaugh to the Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, the man is finally left the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, is back in the big leagues. Went out with a bang, I guess, avoiding some NCAA sanctions.
Yeah.
Would be coming his way.
Yeah, the master of timing.
Let's Willie, let's start with you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and this is a topic I could probably go on longer than Michigan basketball. So if I start talking in circles in this segment, someone's just got to cut me off. But I was kind of mentioning before the show and over text to both of you in separate group chats, maybe. I I have mixed feelings here. There's part of me that is wanting another crack at him. And I think we've all said it, and I'm not breaking any news here on our opinions of him. He is a great foe. He truly is a perfect enemy. He embodies everything that we hate about Michigan. His actions, everything he does just makes my skin crawl and makes my blood boil. Almost to the point where I have to respect him. Like he is just such a good, solid enemy. Like you need to be able to have those people to hate so you can like live a little, right? You got to have someone that you like like you hate, and it's so perfect that he coaches for our rival school. Some great battles. It sucks that he goes out with a winning record against us. Um, Under those D'Antonio years, you thought that might never happen. Um, but on the other perspective, I'm kind of tired of him. I'm so sick of hearing about him. I'm so sick of having to deal with it. I'm glad that this whole thing about him every offseason with the NFL is done. I think Michigan, he accomplished everything he needed to there. nothing left to prove. Timing is great. Honestly, from a Michigan perspective, you're better off without him at this point. I think if he sticks around, the NCAA punishments, they're after him, I think, more than they are after Michigan. So if he sticks around, I think the punishments could have been worse. Scholarships, both postseason ban. I assume he was going to get suspended for the season. We'll never know. So we'll see. I mean, I think Sherrone Moore is probably going to be the guy. And I think it's a fine hire for Michigan. So I think they're getting off scot free in a sense. I don't know what the punishment will be. I suspect they'll still get something, but I think it will be lighter than it would be if Harbaugh stuck around. From just a high overview football perspective, I think the Chargers is a great landing spot with the quarterback situation. It'll be really interesting to see how he navigates their salary cap situation scenario. But got the quarterback situation figured out. He's, I think the quarterback whisperer thing is overblown a little bit. I think he's much, if I was going to say anything good about him, I think he designs a great run game. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's a bad football coach. I mean, I think he's one of the best in the business, respectfully. I can't sit here and say anything different. He wins everywhere he goes. Interesting to see Michigan State both having new coaches for the first time in I forget how long it was.
Electric.
It's going to be great. I think it's good for the rivalry, a bit of a reset. But I will miss him. I will miss those battles. He was a great person to hate. It sucks because I kind of hate him a little less now. I always have respected how big of a football guy he is. I feel like he doesn't know if he's rich. He has no idea if he's poor. He just knows that there's a game on Saturday and who they're playing. Like I feel like he has no idea what else is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, Willie kind of said basically everything that I had written down, but I'll add a few things here. What is it confirmed that the DC is going with him? We checked on that
Not
at all.
confirmed, but those are the
Okay.
rumors.
Okay, so
Need that.
that will help the Chargers a lot because you talked about the offense and what he could do for Herbert in the run game and all that. Their defense has had the pieces and the talent to be an elite defense in the NFL and just has not done it and just completely underachieved. That would definitely change if he goes with them.
Mhm.
So I mean, you'll have them run, I would assume, some type of scheme like the Ravens because that's where he comes from. So that would be a very welcome change for all Chargers fans, I would think. And then just, as a certified Wolverine and Harbaugh hater, it kind of just, you mentioned it sucks, but I kind of just want to see him crash and burn and see how yeah, I don't know, just selfishly want to see it just blow up in flames. But as you said, he's been successful at all levels. I mean, he's been in the NFL before he took the 49ers to freaking Super Bowl. So, I mean, he knows what he's doing. So,
With Colin Kaepernick.
I think, yeah, with Colin Kaepernick, I mean, he just, we all said that we thought he was just trying to get a new raise from Michigan, a better contract. Well, he got the contract in the NFL, and I guess that's where he is. And just wonder what's going to happen if he runs into Jim Schwartz again.
Boom.
Well, fist
Jimmy
pump right in the
handshakes.
face. Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought up scheme because Jimmy is a boy with a lot of schemes. I'm sure he'll do very well, especially with Justin Herbert. Especially if he brings a mentor. I do think he, besides Michigan, who bends to his every will, and we're like ready to give him immunity. Like he's only worked 4 years at a spot before burning bridges. I actually think that he will do well at the Chargers, but he'll have like one off season and go crazy, burn bridges. I think he'll be back in Michigan in like 5 years. Because
Wow.
I think if their coach underperforms, because I mean, if Sherrone Moore, whoever the coach is, I'm sure they'll be very patient with him. I'm sure Michigan fans they'll be like, oh yeah, we have a couple years leeway. I'm sure they won't be at his throat if he's not in the Final Four in year two.
You're overlooking the two most qualified candidates there. I thought Jason Candle and Chris Creighton were
Right
prospects.
down the road, Chris Creighton.
Chris, I mean, that's a great fit. Light the candle, Michigan. I
It's funny.
think I think Jason Candle isn't allowed to leave the state of Ohio.
It's, they've got it. They've got something on him.
Like
It's in
I
his
don't watch
contract, yeah.
I don't watch Toledo games. Like, does he have an ankle monitor when he's outside the state? Like,
Lifelong contract to live in Toledo.
is the
Right.
police escort
Gosh,
like
what an awful deal.
So I think Sharon Moore is the obvious candidate. Um, and I think in a different college football landscape without the transfer portal, I think Michigan would be looking to maybe hire a bigger name. But like you look at what's going on with Alabama as soon as Saban left, and even them bringing in a pretty qualified coach in Kalen DeBoer, that was a mass exodus, and I think Michigan has to avoid that at all costs. And I think that bringing in Sharon Moore pretty quickly will do that. I saw that they have to post the job because it's a state job. It has to be posted for at least 7 days. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I do think some players will enter the portal. I don't know how much or what that will look like. But is there any scenario where you think that Minter would get the nod over more? If it were up to me, I don't know. I mean, Sharon Moore won 3 games, when Harbaugh was out, and 2 of them were pretty big games. I mean, Penn State and against Ohio State, and both pretty convincing. That's a pretty serious audition, but at the same time, it's like, you didn't. I mean, still
Jim was
Harbaugh's
coaching during
team.
the week?
Yeah, like, I don't know. So I feel like Minter would be a pretty good hire too.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's dead set on going with Jim, or if the idea of being the head coach at Michigan would maybe convince him to stay. I think 2 good options either way. I just don't see him going outside. But I wonder if there's any chance Minter would stay if offered that job.
Yeah, I think that would just come down to whether he wants to coach in the NFL or in college. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. And if they were going to hire him, if they were going to be interested in hiring him, they likely probably would have seen him as the interim head coach instead of Sharon Moore. I don't know if there's any kind
That was
of
my thought.
yeah, I don't know if there's any thought behind that, or if I don't
Minter
know.
was in the NFL too, right?
Yes, he was linebackers coach, I think. Right?
Something like that.
He was with Baltimore
I don't
too.
know what it was. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jim Harbaugh's legacy so far, 5-4 against us, which really bothers me. We need at least one vacated win. Like,
Yes. That would be nice if they
Agreed.
vacated this season's win.
honestly, if they just vacated this season's win up to the MSU game, because that's when it was found, I can deal with that. I'll allow it.
Yeah. I
I would
agree.
prefer a national title strip because that would just be funny. But whatever. I've
Honestly,
I've,
it's
I've
such a
accepted them winning the title at this point. I'm
it's
over it.
such a the vacated wins thing is such a joke. I would rather them vacate the regular season wins. That way we could say Harbaugh didn't have a winning record against us,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
that's so much more fun than trying to have the argument of like, you guys didn't actually win that national championship, because we all saw it.
Everybody,
They
yeah,
won.
everybody
Yeah.
remembers it.
They won
Reggie
pretty
Bush did
convincingly.
not win the Heisman just because they took it
Right.
away.
I think that's
Yeah.
such the biggest joke in the world is like those retroactive vacated wins. But I would
Unless
have
except
fun
for
with
except for when it's against your rival.
yes,
Because
I would have fun
I
with
will be
them
using that.
vacating.
I will be
Yes.
using that shit.
I could have fun with
Constantly.
that. Yeah.
Are you
Like
kidding me?
I'm not getting off the mat to have the you got a vacated national championship. I'm not doing that bit. But if they vacate a win against Michigan State, I'm all for that battle.
Yeah, I mean, I will go to my grave for that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
They asked if we wanted to play the game, and we said
Right.
yes. We should have just if we didn't play the game, that would have made it seem like the biggest deal ever.
We would have looked like
we
the
still,
biggest pussies. Yeah.
we still
You
played
know
the
what? Maybe
game,
that
and
would
they
have been
tried to make us look like that. Like oh my God, I can't get into that. But
I'm excited. I will say Sharon Moore has done is on a good start of being unlikable in a kind of a
Yes.
different way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
very
crying,
different way. The crying
acting
was
like Jim
absurd.
Harbaugh's dead. I hope he cries after the first game if
Press
he's
I mean,
a
he's the
conference.
coach.
him and
So this
JJ
was
were the poster boys for the victim game.
Yes. Yeah.
'Cause
him. Yeah, I can definitely work with that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. If they were to go outside, who would be the ideal hire from a Michigan State standpoint in terms of who you would want to fill Harbaugh's shoes as public enemy number one in Spartan land?
I mean, Mel Tucker's the obvious choice because that would be
Okay, that would be funny.
yeah. You went there. I was gonna say Rich Rodriguez, but
I've been there,
Ah,
done that.
yeah, I know
can't.
exactly. No, not I. Well, I was.
Oh,
It wasn't
In
from a
terms of
hater
someone,
standpoint. It was
yeah,
in
in terms
terms
of
of.
someone you
It
could
was
really get
terms of
behind
thinking
hating.
the program. Yeah.
Think
about-
Yeah.
uh,
Mel's a really good one. Damn it.
Yeah. I could keep going with this. We can do a
Okay.
quick
Keep going.
coaches you would love to hate drafts impromptu.
Uh,
I'm just looking at some
keep
of
going.
these.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Um, so let's see.
Dan Lanning, that would never happen, but it would be like Oregon,
I don't
Oregon
hate
State,
Dan Lanning.
Michigan,
Yeah.
Michigan State.
So some of the outside names that Pete Thamel from ESPN threw out: Lance Leipold, Chris Kleiman, Dave Clawson, Matt Rule. I mean, he just got going at Nebraska. I can't see that. Luke Fickle. I honestly can't see any of those guys. I cannot find a way to hate Lance Leipold or Chris Kleiman. Dave Clawson.
Dave
mean,
Clawson.
Dave
Come
Kloss
on.
is nothing to me.
Yeah,
Dave
like
Clawson, we didn't get. We turned him down. Like,
yeah. I mean, at this point, just hire Mike Hart. That would be easy.
Yeah, he is on their
Ooh.
staff.
Luke
that would be
Fickle,
an
is
easy one to hate.
Luke Fickle, I think, brings an interesting hatred standpoint from turning us down. I could get behind
Yeah.
really hating him.
Yeah.
From it doesn't seem like it was quite his fault on that though. That's the only thing.
Well, it was his wife's
Brian
fault.
Kelly.
Well, I would say it was more the board's fault.
Well, that could be. I still think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that there's certainly something to that, Travis. I still don't like how he kind of bitched out at the last minute, but Brian Kelly, that's a good
Brian
one.
Kelly would be fun to hate. Yeah. Mike Hart
He
would have been
is
fun to
very
hate, but you
hateable.
said external candidate, and he is on their
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I just can't think of anyone realistic that would.
Like, I don't. Like, Lane Kiffin would be odd. Like, that wouldn't happen.
It
no,
would be such a square peg in a round hole.
yeah. There's a southern guy moving up north.
If
would be
DeBauer
kinda
didn't
fun.
go to
It would
Alabama,
be really funny to see though.
yeah, that would be funny.
Coach
Ocho.
I can't hate him.
No, you can't. That would just be funny.
That would be funny. I'm trying to think, like some of the names they were throwing out for the Alabama job. I feel like Michigan, similar job right now.
Yeah.
I can't like Sarkisian. I can't see leaving Texas. Kiffin
And it's
seems really.
hard
happy
to
at Ole
find
Miss.
someone to hate like Harbaugh.
Yeah, it is. He's going to be
That's what I'm struggling with.
gonna be
Rabel.
big
Rabel's an
shoes to
Ohio
fill.
State grad.
Woody
So
Hayes
was-
or
so was Bo Schembechler.
Bo Schembechler. He coached Ohio State. If I'm Michigan, I think you've got to pick up the phone and call Vrabel. I think that would be a great get.
I think he wants to coach in the NFL, but
I agree, but I don't think he's not getting any interviews.
Hey, as
He's
my
talking to the
father, as
Panthers.
my dad,
Oh
as my
God,
father
if he
always
goes to
said,
the Panthers,
always make the call.
make him say no. I mean, Michigan fans are the kings of make him say no. I mean, you got to.
yeah.
I hope the message boards are filled with make him say no. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. You know those that they're like. You got to pick up the phone
Urban
and make him
Meyer.
say no. Yeah.
Urban Meyer.
Fucking funny.
I would.
That would be hilarious.
That would be the best.
Dude, my mom and my brother are huge Michigan fans and can't stand Urban Meyer. It would be
That would
hilarious
be
to
the
watch the
best.
reactions. Like
I would-
my brother was at the Ohio State game, like chirping Urban from the stands during, like telling him "fuck you" and all that shit.
the things,
Bro,
the
if
I
that was
would
their
completely
coach, I'd be like,
disregard the entire wanting Urban at Michigan State. It's been, oh, he was always a scumbag, piece of shit.
Yeah. I would do a total
Yeah, that was
180 on
satire.
him.
oh
I
yeah,
didn't actually
yeah.
want us to
We
hire
didn't
him.
we didn't want him. The flag raising
Yeah, we turned
was
him down
not that.
because he was so low character.
That's a good one. Oh,
At Narduzzi.
No, he
just,
turned that
just
down. He
just
turned
general,
Michigan down.
just
Big Ten's not good enough for him.
yeah, right. No, just his comments about us since over the past couple of years, just make it a natural, you know,
Yeah. All right.
form.
I feel like we're getting to the point where now we're just saying coaches' names.
Oh
So
yeah.
it might be time to
Well,
move on. Do
my
you guys
point was it'd just
any
be
final thoughts on
such a
Harbaugh?
it'd be such a hero to villain type of thing.
Oh yeah, it would be.
That's where I was going with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I just
definitely
want a
would be.
good villain. I want someone to hate as much as I hate Jim Harbaugh, and I don't think that
I
that's out
do.
there.
I wouldn't mind it being bad for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean that'd be nice too. I mean, I would like to beat Michigan more than I want to hate them, so that's fair.
Like
Sharon
I
Moore's on
wouldn't
his way.
mind getting bored of beating them because I remember 2014, it was boring beating them.
Yeah, I mean that would be nice to have that back.
But
It's got to be Sharon Moore.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
PJ Fleck, I could get behind that.
Oh,
Oh,
that would be so easy to hate.
Yeah,
yeah. All
yeah,
his stupid slogans and everything.
yeah.
They're
Pete
not
You think
that
Carroll, like the
stupid. They're not
college.
that stupid now. Yeah. They're not that
Pete
stupid
Carroll
now,
would be
but they're
interesting.
incredibly stupid if they go to Michigan.
There's plenty good outside names that they could look at.
Yeah.
I know Sharon Moore makes a lot of sense, but I don't know, man. I'd be kind of enticed by some of these outside names, but they want a Michigan man to coach Michigan. Anyways,
Losers.
Nice.
All right. Okay. You got to be done with the Harbaugh talk.
Yeah.
Now, time for Rawr, the Lions Savants. So, first round of the Lions Savants. Putting on our Lions Savants hats. All right.
Damn it, I don't have this.
So that was awesome, right?
that was so cool, man.
Oh, it was
I don't know
fucking
about you
sweet.
guys. That was one of the more moving sports victories I've been a fan for. That felt like when you beat Michigan when you're not supposed to, that feeling, even though we were favored, I was moved. I was telling Ivy, I was just filled with so much joy. That
It
was
felt like
so
winning Big
much
Ten.
fun. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They've been so bad for so long.
Yeah.
And just to even think that they'll have a chance to play for us to be in the Super Bowl is so awesome. I mean, I can't say enough good things about the guys on this team and Dan Campbell and Brett Holmes. Jared Goff was so awesome on Sunday. I mean, when he needed to make the throws, when we needed to play, he really stepped up. And people could say what they want about him, game manager, whatever. He's certainly not flashy like a Mahomes or an Allen. But man, when he needed to make a throw, he absolutely did. It was just so impressive. I can't say enough good things. They're gonna have to pay him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna get a contract. I mean,
Yeah.
I spent the first 3 quarters of the game in an airport bar watching. So that was pretty cool. Although it was weird because it was a sports bar and no one was really paying attention to the game. So very odd. But then, my brother and I are in line to get on our flight, and everybody's sees us in our line stuff, is coming up, looking over my shoulder as I'm watching on the phone, what's the score? What's the score? How much time we have left? So it was almost like everybody was hopping on that bandwagon, even though, we don't really want the bandwagoners and everything. And then during the flight, we're watching the game and Barnes makes that pick and we start celebrating or whatever, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at the Detroit fans!" And it was kind of cool, but I mean, it was a really surreal moment. Never thought we'd see it happen. I mean, they've sucked our entire lives. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It was awesome. And to your point about Goff, the offense looked great all day. It was
Yeah.
just there were a few moments late in the game, especially late in the first half when they started picking on Cam Sutton, where Tampa was just moving the ball at will too much, and it was nerve-wracking. But the I think we mentioned this on the lost episode that the SOLs would have lost that game, and
Easily.
these guys just punched it right back, scored that touch Gibbs with that answer touchdown, and you know everybody giving shit about the draft picks that we made. Kiss my ass. I mean,
Amen.
Yeah.
they made big plays when we needed it, and one of the biggest plays of the game was made by a fourth round linebacker. I mean, it hadn't had a career interception. They said he didn't even have one in college. So, I mean, they're bringing in guys that are going to make plays, want to be here. It's just awesome to see.
I concur. I mean,
I never thought it was going to happen, honestly. Like 18 months ago, when we were 1-6, and it was
Yeah.
like Dan Campbell better win 2 of the next 3 games or when I'm gone,
mhm,
and he won a lot more than that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I-
Jeff Daniels and Peyton Manning got rid of the curse.
That's right.
Oh,
I think about that often, actually, that video.
Yeah.
Circling back to the draft picks, that is something that has never sat well with me. Like the instant reaction from the NFL world on just the absolute like clown show. They like total out of line, like shellacking that they gave to Holmes and Campbell for that draft. Like it's honestly not getting enough press, in my opinion, that like the 3 guys that they took the most shit for drafting were all starters, contributed heavily. All of them made the all rookie team. And
We
Sam
would not have won the
Laporta,
game without them.
yes, exactly. And Sam Laporta, who again they were criticizing us for taking, is an all pro, second team all pro
Yeah.
as a rookie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Why did we
probably,
take Matt Mayer?
yeah, right. In like next year, like in the conversation of best tight ends in the game, like Sam Laporta is in that conversation. He is
Absolutely.
just like even Jack Campbell, who is out of the 3 of them, he's probably been, I don't want to say the worst, but he's probably not been as good as the other 2. He's got stuff to work on. It. He gets lost in coverage a little bit, but like he's had a great year. He was a starter all year for us. We would not be here without him. It's like these like positional value, you can shove it up your ass. Like these GMs know what they're doing for the most part. If they like a guy and they have him graded as a first round pick, like save your like bullshit. I honestly am tired. Like these fucking Stephen A. Smith, Theo, they don't what is Riddick or whatever his name is on it. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like I said it when they made those picks. Like you either trust Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell or you don't. Like they don't, there was a lot of conviction in those picks. So hats off to them for, believing in their guys and sticking to their guns.
And they've
Yeah.
earned the benefit of the doubt so far, and then some.
No question.
I mean,
no question.
every
They
move
didn't
they've
then,
made.
they have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, to look at all the moves they've made, most of them have turned out to be good moves.
Yeah.
The last time we said that about a Detroit Lions GM was
Right.
probably never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. During that game, was there at any point did you guys think they're gonna lose? Like, did you feel like that SOL feeling coming back where you're just like, oh my God, they're gonna do this to me again?
When they
I-
got the ball after the half,
Yeah.
because
With that second half.
yeah,
That late, like to close the first half when they marched right down and scored. I think they
Yeah.
tied the game. I
Yep.
think at that point I was like,
Yep. that was exactly it.
And then
we needed
yeah.
a turnover or stop right away, and hey,
Yeah.
we got it. But
we did. That was comforting when we got that stop.
Yeah.
I was really nervous.
When we had the ball and there's like 5 minutes left, and I think it was like a 3 and out, where we may have got 1 first down, and there was like 4 minutes left, and Baker just went off, scored in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like,
that too. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I was a little comforted when they went for 2 and didn't get it.
Mhm.
I just feel like and I know what the analytics say. If you go for two, you're gonna get it like above 50%. And I get the thought process behind it. I really do. I just think it's so deflating to the team when you don't get it. Like it feels like your hill is steeper to climb now to come back. Like I think it takes a lot out of the team. Again, I get the thought process behind it, but I don't know if Dan Campbell was in that situation, I don't know what I would want him to do. I
I
again
know
the
what
math
he
makes
would do.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And the math does make sense. I truly do get it, but at some point there's also like a factor of, I need my guys to still believe that we're in this thing. And you could see like I think even Todd Bowles like kind of like quit. Like he did not even bother using that timeout. They had and he kind of said in his press conference, we weren't going to come back. Like what? You can't do that you can't say that in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, I guess like you look at it, they didn't get it, but it was still a one possession game even when they didn't get it.
Right. Yeah. And I get
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah. But like, it's still, you just like, now you're like, shit, like it's deflating, it just like changes it takes away the momentum you do have, it takes away a little bit. And that is a
yep.
difference. I couldn't believe you didn't use that timeout. I mean, I get it. We were in field goal range, but that would have been a 49-yard field goal. And if we missed it, they would have had a great field position with like 30 seconds left. Can't believe they didn't use
Yeah.
that timeout. You should be fired.
Can't believe it. Don't care.
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah, we're not
I'm not
complaining here.
complaining.
Yeah.
No.
You do
Could
you.
you imagine if it was the other way around?
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh.
I would be jumping on things. Like
There would
Yeah.
be no jokes going on in the segment.
No.
We
Man.
actually we probably wouldn't even be having this segment, to be honest.
No. When Derek Barnes made that interception, I just like I
oh
lost
my god,
control.
it was like
Oh yeah.
I was out of my body. It's not about
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
And we have 2 games with a bye in between.
Yep. That's right.
We
Just got to handle the business. Handle your
Oh.
business. Do you
Yeah.
guys? I feel like this question, especially if you listen to Mike Valeni, are we playing with house money?
Hard to say we're not. Okay.
but this opportunity doesn't come that often.
I was gonna say
No.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
convince myself that no matter what happens on Sunday, it's okay. Like this was a great season, and it was. And I think eventually, no matter what happens on Sunday,
Oh
I
yeah.
can have perspective eventually. But if we lose on Sunday, I'm gonna be so bummed.
But
Like I
like
want it so bad. I can't do the house
Yeah.
money thing. I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm
Jared, like,
trying. I want
let's
to
say
win.
Jared Goff gets hurt next year.
Right.
Next offseason,
Yeah.
we're thinking, oh my God, why didn't we just do
Yeah.
XYZ? Why didn't we sign
Right.
someone with the trade deadline with the fucking Super Bowl? Well, we could
Right.
have.
You always
Like, you
look
think
back.
Bengals fans right now are like
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
Like
I
Bills
totally agree.
fans are Bills fans are right now. They're probably well. I guess they don't, we don't have to play Mahomes, thank God. But like, I mean, teams that get to the NFC Championship, they don't always come back that fast, even if they're
Yeah. Look at Philly.
Right.
But-
Yeah. I mean, the Bills are a great example of how quick the window can go from open to close, too. I mean, there's a reality
Rams
where
too. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. There's a reality where the Lions, I think, could be a better team next year, but not have as good of a record and maybe not have this good of a chance. I mean, it's
actually not win the division. The Packers are probably going to be
yeah,
with
the Packers are
Yeah, the
legit.
Packers scare
Man.
the shit out of me.
the Vikings are good. Like they're not
Yeah.
a bad team.
Yeah, I know. They
Like,
blow.
but they're like they're a division rival. Like,
Yeah, they play us tough, no question. The
Yeah,
Bears too. I
yeah.
mean, the Bears are going to have like three first round picks when it's all said and done if they end up trading
yeah, like
Fields. And I saw something that the Packers are looking to like sign Love to a pretty like big extension. Like he would
Yeah.
be one of the higher paid quarterbacks in football. And I'm just like, what is that going to do to Jared Goff's deal? Like the whole NFL thing with the quarterbacks, and like every time a new one gets a deal, they're like all of a sudden in the top 3 highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Like
Yeah.
I really hope that Jared Goff contract does not start with a 5 in terms of annual value. Like that's going to kill us, especially if we have to sign Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's at least 20 million. That's 70 million in cap space.
You gotta hope Goff understands that those guys make him who he is. Like,
Yeah.
and I think he does. Like they all love each other. Did you see his interview? I think with Wojo, or was like he was asking.
Yeah, I did see that.
Got an offense.
Jared, you guys got a lot of really good players, obviously, but maybe not viewed. What's that?
I said thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe not viewed though as the superstars like maybe the 49ers have or other people
All right,
have.
That was good. I like Jared Goff a lot.
He's overachieved compared to what we thought. I mean, the whole team's overachieved, but
Everyone thought he was going to be like his last year, no matter what. Like when he first got traded, we were hoping that we would have had someone else by now.
Yeah.
we were calling him a placeholder, saying 2 years max.
Yeah, he was a bridge guy.
How silly of us.
Yeah. I mean, looking forward to San Francisco. I think it's a tough matchup. I mean, on the road, they've got some serious players, obviously.
It better be close.
They looked beatable last weekend, though.
I agree.
The thing. Yeah,
I agree. I think what the Packers did do, though, they were able to throw the ball outside, which is, I mean, we attacked the middle of the field, which I think the 49ers do a pretty good job taking away. I feel like Fred Warner is all over the place.
Yeah,
like,
those linebackers, Warner and Greenlaw, pretty good coverage linebackers.
It's like playing with an extra guy out there. But their secondary is not great. I think they rank like 14th in pass defense. But they're like number 3 in rush defense. But we're number 2 in rush offense. That's going to be an interesting matchup.
JMO, if you want to break out,
great opportunity for JMO.
They do kind of struggle against physical teams too. You look at Cleveland and all that.
Baltimore.
That could help us a little bit there.
Yeah,
we're not the most physical, but we're a gritty team. The physical is part of the definition of grit. I mean,
certainly the offensive line. I mean, Penei, Sewell, Bragg now can't say enough good things about him. And what a warrior!
And their offensive line isn't anything spectacular. Like they're good, but Purdy is Purdy. He's prone to mistakes.
Yeah, that'll be the key. They could put some pressure on him.
Hopefully
Debo doesn't play. I mean, that would be a difference.
That would be nice. Either way, we're going to have to sure tackle. You can't miss tackles whatsoever against those guys because that's where they excel for sure.
Yeah, and they still have Ayuk, Kittle, McCaffrey. Obviously,
there's a lot of ways they can exploit the defense, which it's not fun. But
no, we do stop the run. I think that if we can,
Tampa had some runs though.
Yeah, it was a bit uncharacteristic, I will say. They definitely, I thought versus the Rams, we did a really nice job stopping their run game, but it didn't look quite as good against Tampa.
Yeah. White kept getting that edge off the tackle.
Yeah,
pretty much all game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna looking forward to Sunday. The hardest part is waiting around. Like 6 p.m. is gonna feel like an eternity. Like from when we wake up, get out of bed, have your breakfast, whatever, and then I'll look around and be like, what the fuck do I do until 6 p.m.?
Well, you better get those cinnamon rolls going.
I will. The cinnamon roll train does not stop, baby.
And man, we don't have MSU as an appetizer.
I know, it's kind of
not this time. Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah, the past 2 weeks, that was good luck charm. We went 2-0 in the day. You got to go 2-0 on the weekend.
Yeah.
So if we were to do the deed, I think we already kind of talked about this. Like, we'd all rather see the Chiefs than the Ravens, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, I mean, we played them both. Look at what they did to us.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are much more susceptible. My only thing with the Chiefs is they just find a way to get it done. And we already beat them once.
It does feel like a storybook for Mahomes to come back.
I was going to say, and you said that over text, Nikki. If we play the Chiefs, that just feels like
the script.
Mahomes gets his 3rd Super Bowl. Yeah.
But
I mean, the Ravens, they are good.
Yeah,
I want to see them again.
Hey, those guys are pretty good.
Maybe we can get a first down in the first half this time.
Right. Yeah. And that having to play them again is not ideal either. At this point, all the teams are good. I don't think anyone should want to play us.
You guys, so you guys want to hear something funny? We're also good.
Yeah. We
We
really are. They're
It's
crazy
shocking to say. Yeah.
And I mean, free agents are going to want to come play for us. We should be able to get some good deals. Because Dan Campbell, like people love Dan Campbell. It's like it's clear that like I really do think his energy and like ability to connect with people is a big going to be a big selling point for free agents. Like it's contagious almost. Like how could you not want to play for him? Like he backs his guys. He's a player's coach. Like everybody loves him. It's very interesting to see what we do in terms of free agency. 48 million in cap space. I mean,
It's
got some room to
top,
work.
top end of the league, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the Cowboys have like projected -11 or something like that. So
Yeah.
we're at a good
Yeah.
spot. But for the love of God, get me a D tackle that can get to the quarterback. I mean, for Christ's sake.
We really need one of those. A lockdown corner. We need one of those.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot that this team could use. A bookend for
Hutch.
the other side for
Yeah.
Hutch. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that's a glaring weakness in our pass rush. The interior does not get to the quarterback,
yeah.
and they
Agreed.
can step up right in that middle every time, especially the
Yeah.
mobile ones getting away.
Yeah. Man, Sunday's going to be.
Agree.
Where will you guys watch?
I don't know. Might be home.
To be determined. Yeah.
I've watched the
be
last
home.
2 games at home. I think I got to keep it up. I think it can't mess with what works.
I thought you
I've
went to the
watched- I've
Lions.
wa-
I thought you went to the Lions bar for the first one.
We were there for the first quarter. And then I said I'm not doing this. I was basically
watched-
standing outside.
I've watched them both at different venues, so you
So
know.
you-
Yeah,
the
I
playbook's
watched
wide
them
open
all.
for
I
you.
watched
Yeah,
each half of a
exactly.
different venue. Like
Yeah,
I watched
that's
I
true.
watched all 4 halves in 4 different spots. So
Oh, so
maybe
you
I
mean you
go
guys-
some. Maybe we have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
we go to
so.
Stan's for the first half and Christie's for the second half.
There you go.
I'm
Mix it up.
down for that. Those are
So-
2 of my favorite bars.
What a nice you don't have to deal with the weight of I can't leave. I have to watch this game at my apartment. The
Yeah.
playbook is wide open for you guys.
I think about it. That's kind of how it's been too. Like Nick and I were both
I
at the
have to go to
same
Bball.
2 bars the first time, and then I watched the first 3 quarters in an airport bar and the last quarter on a plane
Yeah, I watched
last week.
I watched the first half at Macy's
I mean-
parents or grandparents or grandma's and the second half of my house. And then we went, so maybe we got to go. So we want homes, and before that, bars. Maybe back to bars. We can, whatever. We'll figure it out.
No, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
I haven't washed the Lions sweatshirt that I wore the last 2 games. The same pants. I'm just gonna wear the same clothes.
Yeah, I
Gotta
wouldn't want
keep it
different.
going.
I was like, I'm going to switch it up.
Smart. You're not
Just 'cause
bound
I
by the
wanted to-
superstitions.
I'm trying to beat the superstition.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
All right. Should we cue the music?
Cue the music. Short week for the picks. Running out of football games here.
Yeah.
So we've got Chiefs at Rams. Or I'm sorry, Chiefs at Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 3.5 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens. They're good. They're good, man. I don't. There's not much else to say. Also, I'm wearing purple. I kind of have to.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, I guess because there are only 2 games, I guess I'll say the Chiefs.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. They just find a way to get it done. I don't know.
I think Chiefs will cover, Ravens will win. I think it'll be a tight one. But
Yeah. Okay, of course. That brings us to the grand finale here. America's team, the Detroit Football Lions, traveling to
Hell yeah.
Levi Stadium in San Francisco to take on the 49ers. 49ers coming in as a touchdown favorite, 7 points even. Travis Tyler, I will start with you.
I mean, I have to, right? Like we do this every week. It's whether it's gonna happen or not. I'm gonna say it. The Detroit
right.
Lions are going to the Super Bowl.
Nice.
oh my
Whoa.
God.
Wow.
Oh, I can't believe you just said I can't
Oh
believe
my
I
God.
get to say that. The Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl.
Forward down the field, baby. I'm not starting to pick against the Lions now. I mean, this
Are you crazy?
We're here. You gotta be sick in the head to do that. Oh
Yeah.
man,
We didn't come all this way to back down.
that's right. That's right.
Right. Well, that's the picks. What a great week. What a great a lot of stuff going on in this episode that we thought would be pretty short. I mean, that Harbaugh news really
Great
helps
timing.
us with the content. Yeah, great timing.
I did.
Great
I'm sure
timing.
Jimmy made it so that would happen.
That's right. He's an avid listener.
So remember, everyone, follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I think every week I say Instagram. We don't have an Instagram. The rest of the podcast spots.
Subscribe on YouTube,
Yeah,
Apple Podcasts,
Twitter,
Spotify.
YouTube, wherever you get podcasts.
There you
Simple.
go.
Yeah. We
And
do have a Facebook page too, but it doesn't have the Spartan Savants name because Facebook will not let me change the name. So
that's annoying. Well,
yeah.
go green.
Go white.
Go white.
Forward down the field.
Leaked audio from the Lions-Rams playoff game. Hey, Matt, you fucking suck. Yeah, boo, Stafford, I hate your kids. Yeah, hey, Stafford, we really hate your kids. Yeah, Stafford, you're actually all right. Boo, boo, Stafford's kids. Yeah.